My fellow Americans, happy 4th of July weekend. Welcome to your forecast for Monday, June 27th through Sunday, July 3rd. Even though the 4th of July is on Monday, I'm including it in this weekend because this is the holiday weekend, not next weekend. And I would like to, just a little reminder here, remember when you are, if you're one of those people that likes to shoot off fireworks, remember to use the hand that you do not write with, okay, just to be on the safe side. Anyway, I'd also like to thank my subscribers for your continued support, for liking and sharing my video, and your contributions to my channel help me to grow, help it to circulate a lot more. If you're new to my channel and you like this video, be sure to do that. Like and share and subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell and you'll be notified each time I upload something. And there's also links in the description box below. One is to my website, which I will be updating with some services that I've always offered but have not listed there because people just usually email me and ask me whatever about anything. So that's actually what you should do. Sometimes it's a lot easier, okay, to just contact me and ask me about whatever it is you're interested in. There's also a link there to something called Ask Me a Question, which is for those people who are interested in only knowing maybe one or two things about their chart. Okay, so the aspects for this week, the major aspects, okay, on Monday, June 27th, Mars in Aries, sextile Saturn in Aquarius. On Wednesday, June 29th, the Sun in Cancer squares Jupiter in Aries. And on the same day, Venus in Gemini sextiles Jupiter in Aries. On Saturday, July 2nd, Mars in Aries squares Pluto in Capricorn. On the same day, Mercury in Gemini trines Saturn in Aquarius. And also on the same day, Mercury in Gemini squares Neptune in Pisces. So, let's get to your week. Hi, Cancer. On Monday, June 27th, Mars in Aries in your 10th house, sextile Saturn transiting in your 8th house of Aquarius. So, okay, having Jupiter along with Mars, both in Aries in your 10th house of your career. Right now I'd have to say this is being in the right place at the right time. Your 10th house is your most public house. It's how you're known by reputation, professionally and personally, but it's how people speak about you publicly, okay? You should be getting an awful lot of attention right now. This is being elevated to some kind of higher status, okay? Like, again, it could be just personally too. So something about you, more than likely about your reputation, is enhancing your ability to, let's say, like get a loan or something. The sextile to Saturn in your 8th house of other people's money and resources means just that people are, they're banking on you in a way. You're like the one to bet on as far as succeeding at some kind of, let's say, even a race. You know, if you're in competition with someone for a position, okay, and that could be professionally, but like I said, it's also personal status too. So people are just really noticing you, you know, and your worth, though. That's the thing right there is what people are noticing about you is many things, but one of them is the fact that you're able to get things done as far as, let's say, work goes, or your professional or your livelihood, something like that. But, you know, it could be also people that you know, people that you're rubbing elbows with at this time, or are giving you access to whatever it is they have. They're giving you or just lending you or something. They're acting on your behalf even to enhance your reputation or your position professionally or personally. Okay, on Wednesday, June 29th, the Sun in your first house in Cancer, okay, squares Jupiter in Aries in your 10th house. And on the same day, Venus in Gemini in your 12th house sextiles Jupiter in your 10th house of Aries. Okay, so, excuse me, the square from your first house, Sun, to Jupiter just means that, excuse me, as far as a position goes, if this is professional, you may be wanting to do things a certain way. You know, if you do work for other people, a company or something like that, they could be kind of like not real into whatever it is your suggestion is that you would like to do. Excuse me. And I just sipped water too. So anyway, sorry. You know, or you could like say something that could maybe say something publicly. Okay, so it's a good idea, as long as these planets are here, even the fact that Jupiter is here, to be careful you don't go overboard in some way with the way you say something, or coming off like very flippant. Okay, with Venus in your 12th house sextiling Jupiter in your 10th house means that you're having help behind the scenes. There could be someone helping you that you work with, or it could be a higher up that's helping you in some way with your position, gaining a position, a better position. If it's personal, just personal status, it's the same thing. There's something or other talks, or I want to say a friendship, maybe a secret friendship that you're having with someone that no one really knows about, but this person really will enhance your reputation in some way once it comes out that you're actually friends with them. Okay, on Saturday, July 2nd, Mars in Aries in your 10th house squares Pluto transiting in your 7th house of Capricorn. On the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your 12th house trines Saturn transiting in your 8th house of Aquarius. And on the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your 12th house squares Neptune transiting in your 9th house of Pisces. So we've got your 7th, 8th, and 9th houses here. Excuse me, the square from Aries, Mars in your 10th house of Aries to Pluto in your 7th house of like partnerships and close relationships. I don't think it's a very big deal because you have these other things going on at the same time. But what it is maybe, you know, it could be a romantic partner, someone that, or just like a close friend. But if it is a business partner, they could see you as maybe being a little bit too aggressive in your job or your ego when it comes to your job. You know, they may think that it's over the top, you're a bit over the top or something like that when it comes to your professional or personal status. With the trine from Mercury in your 12th house to Saturn in your 8th house, to me this is like secret arrangements when it comes to money or resources. Okay, when Mercury's in the 12th house, I always call it the great investigator. So you could actually be even trying to find out about someone else's resources, someone else's money, what they are truly making, what they're truly worth, or again, somebody could be helping you behind the scenes, could be a secret friend, okay, with finances or any kind of support that they have or resources that they have. Okay, now the square from Mercury in your 12th to your 9th house, Neptune, where you have Neptune and Pisces, that is a little bit of a lie, possibly, or it is finding out maybe a secret, okay? 9th house is many things, but it is the house of media and publishing. I would have to say it's an internet house. You might actually find something out at this time on the internet that's a little bit surprising. Maybe you are doing even a random search and you do come across, you know, maybe you even are just curious as to what so-and-so is making, you know, and as far as money goes, okay? You could come across something like that. It's a little bit of surprising stuff, I would think. Even legal matters, maybe you might find out were like a secret. A little bit of a secret, maybe a little white lie someone could be telling you about themselves, about their background or whatever, okay? So for Gemini, on Monday, June 27th, Mars and Aries in your 11th house sextiles Saturn in your 9th house of Aquarius. So having Mars in your 11th house of sociability, it's socializing in person with your friends and acquaintances. It's going to places where you normally go to hang out. Any kind of organization that you belong to, having Jupiter here at the same time is bringing new people into your life that will benefit you in some way or other. With a sextile to Saturn in your 9th house of long distance everything, communications, travel, but it's foreign countries, foreign people, foreign languages. So I would have to say that that area of your life is expanding a little bit more, possibly at this time, online. 11th house is social media, 9th house is also social media. Okay, this is 9th house is media and internet house, media and publishing. So I would have to say that you're meeting possibly a new friend or an acquaintance or someone that you would probably make online in social media. But it's because you have things in common. You either have the same background, went to the same school, or have the same philosophical outlook on life. Okay, on Wednesday, June 29th, the Sun in Cancer in your 2nd house squares Jupiter transiting in your 11th house of Aries. And on the same day, Venus in your 1st house in Gemini sextiles Jupiter in your 11th house of Aries. So not bad at all. You know, the Sun in your 2nd house of earned income, how you earn your money from whatever. If you work, your livelihood, if you're retired, your retirement or pension or whatever, you have some source of income that you live on, right? So the square to Jupiter in your 11th house just means that you're debating on whether or not you want to spend money on some kind of function that you're going to do with friends, or it could be to attend some kind of like big to-do event, you know, where you could network and really meet people, you know. So you're just trying to figure that out, right, if you're going to do it or not. So I would have to say Venus in your 1st house, okay, with a sextile to Jupiter in the 11th house on the same day, I'm going to have to say, yeah, you're going to spend that money, okay, even if it's just to do something you want to do, not to meet other people, not to do whatever. 11th house is also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So there could be something you had your eye on, a goal, or even if it's just to have fun, okay, or something you want to go to, you want to do. Yeah, I think you're gonna do it. Venus in your 1st house makes you, you know, want to do fun things. You're steering clear of anything serious, anything too heavy for you to deal with right now, because you're in the mood to deal with only like lighthearted subjects. Okay, on Saturday, July 2nd, Mars in Aries in your 11th house squares Pluto transiting in your 8th house of Capricorn. On the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your 1st house trines Saturn transiting in Aquarius in your 9th house, and also on the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your 1st house squares Neptune transiting in your 10th house of Pisces. Okay, so we have the 8th, 9th, and 10th houses being transited by Mars and Mercury. Okay, now the square from Mars in Aries in your 11th house to Pluto in your 8th house of Capricorn. You know, 8th house is other people's money and resources. It's a money house, period, okay? So we're back to you know, trying to figure out, do you want to spend money on something? Do you want to join a group? Do you want to join an organization? Do you want to pay for something or other? You know what I mean? It could be something that you want to do, a goal that you do have, okay? Of course, or a dream, hope, or wish, right? Always costs money. Nothing's ever free, it seems, okay? So maybe that's something that you may even need a little bit of backing for. You know, you may need a little bit of help. You may need to borrow money from someone, okay? On the same day, Mercury in your 1st house trines Saturn in your 9th house of Aquarius, which I would have to say is some kind of good news in a way. You know what I mean? Ninth house is the house of long distance travel, communications. It's also the house of legal matters. If you were waiting for any kind of information in regards to a legal matter, it looks like maybe it'll get a little bit of attention at this time, or a little bit of movement even. You could also have, like, you could hear from someone, a phone call or email, something like that, from someone at a distance that, you know, it could be good news, or it could be just something that makes you feel a little bit more secure in regards to anything, maybe an inquiry even that you made. Okay, now Mercury, the square from Mercury in your first house to your 10th house of Neptune, we're back to this little bit of a white lie. Okay, now your 10th house is your most public house. It's how you're known by reputation, professionally and personally. It's your livelihood and your personal status, though, too. So you could mislead people at this time into thinking that you are possibly involved in some kind of project right now. You've got something big going on or coming out, or whatever, you know, just to, I guess, people, just to keep people talking about you, or keep you in their thoughts, or keep you in the running, let's put it that way, possibly for a position that you're after, but it seems like you're just trying to keep the public eye. Okay, keep yourself in the public eye. Okay, for Scorpio, on Monday, June 27th, Mars in Aries in your 6th house, sextile Saturn transiting in your 4th house of Aquarius. So, you know, your 6th house is the kind of work that you do, the workplace, co-workers. Having Jupiter here at the same time, you know, means that things are going pretty well here. If they weren't before, they're going a little better, or a lot better than what they were. This is also the house of health and service to others. Okay, it's also the house of small pets. I would think that maybe you are getting a small pet, at least at this time, with a sextile to Saturn in your 4th house of your family life, your home life, where you physically live, the property surrounding it, your home. It's your personal life, though, too. So maybe you do already work from home. If not, this would be the time that you would be trying to get that to happen. Creating some kind of area at home specifically for work. This is also, though, too, I mean, I just have to kind of say this, as far as the medical profession goes, you know, if you are in the medical profession, there is, I don't know, maybe you have even invested in a personal care home or some kind of care. Maybe you own an agency that has caregivers or something that sends people out in some way or other. Whatever it is, if you provide some kind of service for someone that deals with their home, even like if you're like a general contractor or something, this area of your life is really expanding. Okay, your workload is expanding. On Wednesday, June 29th, the Sun in Cancer in your 9th house squares Jupiter transiting in your 6th house of Aries. And on the same day, Venus in Gemini in your 8th house sextiles Jupiter transiting in Aries in your 6th house. So, you know, usually when planets are in your 9th house and they're transiting planets in your 6th house of the workplace, okay, I have to say, I usually say, you know, 9th house is the house of higher knowledge. Okay, a lot of times you know a little bit more about your job or the kind of work that you do than your coworkers do, or even your boss, even the company you work for, right? And this could be one of those times, you know, where you're going to do your job the way you know how to do it. This is the way you've been taught. You have years of experience, and you're the one that could write the how-to book on whatever. Okay, Now, with Venus sextile to Jupiter in your sixth house of the workplace and the kind of work that you do, I believe that somebody's going to really, like, let you do it. They'll let you go ahead and do things the way you want them done, and in fact, maybe have your coworkers also do the same thing, and you could get some kind of nice benefit out of that, a little bit of an enhanced benefit, like better insurance or some kind of perk or other, as far as, it could be a raise of some kind, but I don't really see anything like that in your chart right now. But it's just some kind of benefit, okay? On Saturday, July 2nd, Mars in Aries in your sixth house squares Pluto, transiting in your third house of Capricorn. On the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your eighth house trines Saturn, transiting in your fourth house of Aquarius. And on the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your eighth house squares Neptune, transiting in your fifth house of Pisces. So we have your third, fourth, and fifth houses being aspected by Mars and then Mercury. Okay, so Mars in Aries in your sixth house squaring Pluto in your third house. Not a big deal. It does kind of look like, to me though, the sixth house is many, many things, but it is the house of service to others, okay? And your third house is your everyday life and the people you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day. It is your daily schedule, just like your sixth house is, okay? They're like kind of combined here, so it looks to me like somebody in your everyday life, could be neighbors, could be relatives, siblings, anybody, may be trying to get you to help them in some way. They need you to do something for them. So I always call it a 50-50 thing when it's service to others. When people approach you and ask you for help, they offer to do something for you in return, so you both benefit in some way. But this may not be one of those times. This may be one of those times where somebody just leans on you and expects you to say yes, okay, to whatever it is that they want you to do. And like I said, it could be anyone. It could even be a coworker. On the same day, Mercury in your eighth house in Gemini trines Saturn in your fourth house of Aquarius. So, I'd have to say that if it is family, they could really, you could still benefit in some way or other. They could be offering to do something for you in regards to your home, help you, I don't know, clean up your yard or clean your house, or do something to help you as far as your home goes, or you could just be like on the receiving end even. The eighth house is the house of inheritance, okay? Inheritance and legacy, and your fourth house is your past and your childhood. It's your foundation, okay? So when Saturn's here, a lot of times you do inherit. You could be inheriting property right now. It could be hard to obtain. There could be a big struggle in regards to it. All kinds of legal matters going on and whatever, so it may not be easy. But that could be actually what's going down right now. Maybe somebody, again, because now on the same day you have Mercury in your eighth house of Gemini square Neptune in your fifth house of Pisces. And fifth house is romance. It is fun, entertainment. It's a fun house, but having Neptune here is really good for creativity. It really is, okay? It really will enhance your imagination in many, many ways. But Neptune rules illusion. A lot of times you're not seeing someone, let's say a romantic partner, or whatever. You're just not seeing them clearly. And this could be one of those times. This is a little bit of a lie of some kind coming to you. And it could be dealing with your house, okay? Your home life, your personal life, whatever. It could even have something to do with your job, okay? But you're being told something that more than likely it isn't true. I would just take it with a grain of salt. It's not like a big, big lie, but it is something to get you to think differently or alter your opinion or alter your decision in some way. Okay. For Aries, on Monday, June 27th, Mars in your first house in Aries, sextiles Saturn transiting in your 11th house of Aquarius. So Mars, your ruling planet, okay. Also have Jupiter here right now is making you like a force to be reckoned with, okay, especially with these two planets together. You're just like, you know, bringing in luck here, there, whatever. All you have to do is blink and something nice possibly happens to you. You are in the right place at the right time. Okay, and that could be really upsetting someone in your group of friends. Having Saturn in your 11th house of friends and associates, where you hang out, any kind of group or organization that you belong to. But it's your like most sociable house, and there's having Saturn here, there's always somebody there that's jealous or envious of you, tries to block your way as far as reaching any kind of goal, because 11th house is dreams, hopes, and wishes. So there could be some kind of goal or whatever that you have, that this person is just like a Debbie Downer, you know, one of those kind of people. They just put a total damper on everything that you want to do. Okay, they're a real pain in the ass. So this could be one of those times where you finally are actually getting rid of them, or you're putting them in their place in such a way that they have no effect on anything anymore. And that includes your group of friends. Okay, on Wednesday, June 29th, the Sun in Cancer in your 4th house squares Jupiter, transiting in your 1st house of Aries. And also on this day, Venus in Gemini in your 3rd house sextiles Jupiter in your 1st house in Aries. So not a bad deal at all, okay? Transits to Jupiter, to and from, are never bad. Okay, so the Sun in your 4th house of your home, your family, but where you live, who you live with, it's your personal life, you know, it's your foundation, your childhood, your past, all of that stuff. You could be having a lot of people come back into your from your past into your life right now, okay, especially having Jupiter in your sign. Sometimes it does bring new people into your life, but it also brings people from your past. It's different times, okay, but the square to Jupiter in your 1st house just means that maybe you have some kind of plans or other that you would like to do with your home. This could be physical, actually changing something in your home. It could be like even just redecorating, but it could be also like wanting to have, I don't know, a reunion of some kind. People come and visit with you, or possibly even stay with you. With the sextile from Venus in your 3rd house to Jupiter in your 1st, it means that you're having a little bit more contact with even your like cousins, aunts, uncles, siblings, people you used to go to school with, grade school, more or less. So you're wanting to do something, you're wanting to have fun, okay? Maybe you are planning some kind of, or at least going to attend something. But it looks to me like you're in the mood to plan something, either throw a party or, I don't know, do something that's bringing your friends together. Could be the family, so it could be a little bit of both, reunion or just a party of some kind. On Saturday, July 2nd, Mars in your 1st house in Aries squares Pluto, transiting in your 10th house of Capricorn. And on the same day, Mercury in Gemini in your 3rd house trines Saturn, transiting in Aquarius in your 11th house. And on the same day, Mercury in your 3rd house in Gemini squares Neptune, transiting in your 12th house of Pisces. So we have your 10th, 11th, and 12th houses, okay, being affected by Mars in your sign and Mercury in Gemini. So the square from Mars in your 1st house to Pluto in your 10th house just means that, you know, your 10th house is your livelihood, your career. It's how you're known professionally and publicly. Your personally, okay? It's your status. Having Mars here means that, you know, you could do or say something possibly publicly that makes you look a little bit too aggressive or too eager, or too self gratifying. You know, you want something done this way, not that way, or blah, blah, blah. You know, so you could make a statement of some kind, let's put it that way, possibly on social media. So it's a good idea to watch what you say on this day anyway, that makes you sound like you're, I don't know, you're really, you're running over people, you're just running roughshod over people just to get your way. Okay, with the trine from Mercury in your 3rd house to Saturn in your 11th house, very nice communication here. Okay, to a group of people, could be a large group of people. In fact, maybe that's something that's going on here. 11th house is social media. You could be making some kind of statement on social media about anything, but it's something that stabilizes your group of friends or any kind of organization that you belong to. It could be some kind of communication that you have even with somebody that's in a group or organization that you belong to, okay, that is very good for the group, not just you, but for the whole group. Also, with this Mercury, though, excuse me, in Gemini in your 3rd house squaring Neptune in Pisces in your 12th house, okay, this is a little bit of a teensy little bit of a lie. When you get Neptune and Mercury together in other, like in opposition or a square, okay, trine and even conjunction, though, is not so good. There's always a little bit of bending the truth. It's a little bit of a white lie, and this is possibly something that you're doing or something that is being done to you, okay? This is communication in your 3rd house. That's what 3rd house is, big communication and travel house. So I'd have to say that somebody you know is telling you something that isn't true, okay? Having Neptune in your 12th house of psychic ability, you already know that it's not true. You're just trying to figure out why they're telling you this. Why do they feel the need to possibly tell you this? So I don't know, that's something maybe you'll find out somewhere down the way.